Erev Tov, Rabotai. Chodesh Tov. I want to tell you what it says in Gemara. Everybody knows this, but it says in Gemara Megillah. Misha nichnas Adar marbim besimcha. Right? So it means that when Adar comes in, you have to do more simcha, more smachot. How do you do it? What do you do? One time I asked my rabbi about this. When I was younger, how do you make more simcha? What do you do? You know what he told me? He said, take a glass of wine every day and drink. That's what he told me. That's what he told me. I was thinking about that. I said, oh, it's interesting what you're saying. Okay. But the truth is, there's also other ways to do it. Marbim besimcha means also we make smachot. What does that mean? If you have like a party, to make a mesiba, a simcha, you should try to do it in Chodesh Adar. That's the thing, So if a person can do that, like let's say, you want to marry off your children, right? So Chodesh Adar is a good time to do marriage, to do chatuna. This is a very nice time. There's another way. But you know what the best way is? Another rabbi told me when I was in Yerushalayim. He told me the best answer. You know what it is, right?
To learn more Torah.
Exactly, to learn more Torah, right? Because it says in the Pasuk that the Torah makes you happy, So learn more Torah, If you're learning half hour, learn hour. If you're running 1 hour, learn 2 hours. It's going to make you more sameach. This is the best simcha, Because it's spiritual, it's not physical. It's all in the neshama. That's the best thing, nothing better than that, So learn more Torah and you'll be happy. That's the best thing. Oh, that applies for all year round, but especially for Chodesh Adar. Okay, fine, that's great. So, another interesting thing is, they say that if a person has a court case, with a goy, right? Since the mazal is good for the Jews in this month, he should try to go to court with him in Chodesh Adar. Because, he has more of a chance to win. You know what I mean? So if he can do that, it's not so easy to do that sometimes, to make everything in Chodesh Adar. But if a person has the chance to do that, he should try to do that. You gotta have a good lawyer, maybe, I don't know, to move the case to Chodesh Adar. I don't know. I'm not sure exactly how you do it, but...
Rabbi, somebody told me yesterday that you have to do everything on a second part of Adar, not the first.
Yeah, I don't know what he's talking about there, second part, first part, because the truth is, sometimes we have two Chodesh Adar. Maybe he's talking about that. You know what I mean? Second Adar.
After Purim.
What does that mean? To do Simcha only no? No, this is a mistake. It's no nachon. Because it says Misha Nichnas when it starts. It says, right. So what does it mean after Purim? It's starting now. Misha Nichnas Adar. That's what it says, right? So whoever told you that, he has to learn a little bit more Torah. He doesn't know enough. Doesn't have enough knowledge. God bless him. Whoever it was, I don't know who it was. Anyway, interesting thing, right? I'll tell you. Since we said that we should learn more Torah, right? So let's try to learn a little bit more Torah. That's exactly the whole point. So let's see what we can find, right? Something interesting I found. This is brought down in Gemara Masanedin, right? Kuf Bet Amud Bet. It says over there, interesting story with Rav Ashe. Rav Ashe, as we said, right? He was the Gadol Ador in the time of the Talmud, and he was the one who wrote the Talmud. Put everything together, organized everything. He was a big Chacham, Gadol Ador of that generation. Nobody was like him in that generation. They say, like this. What they say is that there wasn't somebody big like this, from Rabbi Yehuda Nasi all the way, to Rav Ashe. There wasn't somebody big like this. A big person. Okay, whatever. But anyway, so Rav Ashe, it says in Gemara there, that one day, he told his Talmidim, today he says, we're going to study about our friend, we're going to darshan about our friend. Who's our friend? Melech Menashe, right? Oh, I see. So he told them like this, we're going to study about our friend, Menashe. So Menashe, a very interesting character, right? Why? Because they say, first of all, who was he? He was a son of Chizkiyahu, right? So, son of a tzaddik. But he came out to be Rasha, He had also another brother, by the way, they say, he was also Rasha. Two brothers, Rashaim. Both of them Rashaim. But what happened was, that he became a Melech after Chizkiyahu, because he was the oldest son. So he gets the malchut. That's the way it is. Problem was, he did Avodah Zarah. He started Avodah Zarah. He got the whole country into Avodah Zarah. He was a big Rasha, like nobody before him, they say, was Rasha like this. The biggest Rasha, one of the biggest Rashaim that ever lived in the malchut, of Israel. So what happened was that in the end, what happened, right? After about 20 years, he was a melech. He was melech for 52 years. Long time, He had the malchut for a long time. So after about 20 years or so, he got into big trouble, The Goyim came, and they took him captive. They took him to a foreign land. They kidnapped him, and over there he was like trapped, in the hands of the Goyim, So he what happened was that he got this, feeling in his heart to do teshuvah. At that point, So what happened was he screamed out to Kadosh Baruch Hu. He says, "Please, take me back to my malchut. I'll do whatever you say. That's it. I'm doing teshuvah." So what happened was, that Hashem listened to him, took him back to the malchut and gave him back the malchut. So what happened was that after he did teshuvah, another 30 years he also was melech, after he did teshuvah. You know what I mean? But nevertheless, it says in the Gemara that one of the kings, also in Sanhedrin, over there, it says one of the kings that has no chelik in olam haba is Menashe. Eno chelik in olam haba. He has no portion in the world to come. Eno chelik. But, so they ask, right? But wait a second, you said he did teshuvah, no? If he did teshuvah, he has no chelik in olam haba. So they answered, you know why? Because he did teshuvah from fear. He was scared, that's why, He wasn't a Shem Shammai. According to that opinion, There's another opinion that says not like that. It's machloket over there in the Mishnah. So two different opinions over there. One says he has portion in the world to come. One says no chelik in olam haba. Okay, whatever. Anyway, the interesting thing is, right, that Rav Ashe, he says, we're going to darshan about him today. It comes to the yeshiva, right? So, it looks like Menashe was listening, in Shemaim, when he was talking about him. So he was like, what? You're going to talking about me? Oh. So, what happened, right? That night, to Rav Ashe, he came to him in a dream. Menashe. So he told him, he says, they told me upstairs over there, that you're going to be darshaning about me tomorrow. Is that true? You're going to do drashot about me, huh? And it says, I heard that you called me your friend, chaverenu, right? You called me your friend. Oh. So he says, wait a second. He says, you think I'm your friend? He says, excuse me, but I'm your Rabbi. You're my Talmid. What are you talking about? I knew much more Torah than you. What are you talking about? Compared to me, you're a little child, Well, who are you to say that I'm your friend? What are you talking about?
Not your father's friend.
So, what happened, right? He told him, he says, I'll prove to you that, compared to me, you're Am Aretz, you don't know nothing. I'll prove to you right now. So what did he tell him? He says, I'm going to ask you a question, Halacha. If you know, then you can call me your friend. Otherwise, you're not my friend, you're my Talmid. What are you talking about? So he asked him, okay, what's the question? So he told him, he says, you know what? When you go, buy the Bukharian bread, for Shabbat, right? Round one, whatever, right? Which part of the bread you have to break when you do hamotzi? Which part? This side, north side, south side? This side? Or in the middle maybe? I don't know. What? Do you know which one you got to break? Chuk! So I told him, he says, I'm sorry, he says, I apologize to you, he says, I called you my friend, but the truth is, it looks like I don't know halacha like you. I don't know this halacha. Nobody taught me this halacha. So I told him, he says, you have to break it, the side which is baked well, the good side, where it's baked nice. Crispy, crispy, good part. So he told him, he says, okay, thank you. He says, Chazak Baruch, he taught me halacha. I'm sorry, it looks like I'm not your friend, I'm sorry. He apologized to him. Told him like this, right? Okay, so what happened was, right, that this halacha, that Menashe taught to Rav Ashe, it's brought down in the Shulchan Aruch. It's halacha bemet, halacha psuka. It's, but something I found interesting, right? Today, I was looking in the Zohar HaKadosh, Parshat Mishpatim. So it says over there something interesting about this. You know what it says? It says, even though it says in the Gemara, like we said, right? You gotta take the bread from the well-baked side, the crispy side. The Bukharian bread, there's always a crispy side there, right? Right? You know how it is, right? Go to the bakery over here, you'll see. Right? There's the not crispy side, there's a crispy side. Oh, it's always like that. So it says the Zohar Kadosh. He says, yeah, but you have to remember one thing, Take from the crispy side, it's true. But not from the burnt side, says the Zohar Kadosh. So we learn one more halacha about this, which is that, yes, crispy is good, but not burnt. If it's saru, if it's burnt, you shouldn't take from there. Why? Because, burnt is no good. It's not good quality, So you're gonna make a blessing, hamotzi lechem min haaretz, on the burnt bread? You shouldn't do that. So says the Kadosh, it means well baked, that's what it means, but not burnt. Understand? That's what he says. So
You'll be surprised how Bukharians picky about bread.
right, it's true. I know what you mean. So anyway, right, that's the halacha. So okay, B'ez Hashem, we'll continue next time. Baruch Adonai le'olam, amen ve'amen. Rabbi Hanania בקשומר, עשה הקדוש ברוך הוא לא זוכר את ישראל, והפיך הכיר בעל העם תורה ומצוות שנאמר אדוני חפץ, למען צדקו יגדיר תורה ויאדיר.